Hello, hello. Welcome to Queen's House. Welcome. How's everyone doing today? Okay.
This queen is doing just fine.
You don't want to pull down your hair for
A little bit down. I'm queening.
him? Yeah,
I'm feeling beautiful.
let me put the queens at the top.
Huh?
How about that?
Huh?
Let me put the queens at the top. How about that?
There we go. Give me a
There-
crown or something.
Ooh, yeah. We had. Oh, I'm sorry. I you're muted. Can you hear me now? Speak again.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, I can hear you because you said something before we didn't hear you.
Oh, I just said we have one of our resident kings here, Kesa, King Kesa,
We are
Thank you,
down.
Iris.
double
We're down
K.
two queens, but we have a king to replace. And don't worry, he's well worth the wait. He actually came up with our icebreaker because everyone knows that Kelly likes to start with the icebreaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a known fact.
It's a known fact.
It is.
It's a known fact.
It's a known
Sounds like
fact.
she's from the Midwest. You want some tapioca?
Everyone
It's
knows.
a known fact.
Everyone knows I like to start with the icebreaker.
Everyone knows. Why do you sound so Midwestern?
That's what I'm saying. It's the display. She's like, everyone knows.
Everyone knows. But you like some tapioca.
Shayna, give me Shayna sitting on the couch reviewing the movie. Give me that fight. I want that
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
Oh, there we go. It's a start.
You mean give her on the couch, spoiling the movie? You guys haven't seen this? You know the next part is really gonna mess you up.
Oh, dude, that is Shayna, bro. Oh my god.
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. I will say that I cannot wait to get off this live so I can go watch the last episode of Invincible that came out tonight.
Oh, it did come out tonight. Oh shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Don't look at the TV. You have to wait just like me because you signed up.
Oh
for
god. I completely forgot about that.
Have you been following it? You've been watching?
I know the comics. I know what happens.
Joe, did you see that he's gonna fight?
Yes. Your homeboy.
See?
Old cat.
Look at you. You about to spoil it right now. I told you.
No, I know. I already know
not
though.
you,
Like I
Joe.
know.
Not
Oh
you.
yeah.
Shane said to that. Did you see
I'll tell you.
Did you?
I'll tell you how much darker the shit. I'll tell you how much darker the show is. So that scene where Anissa comes and whoops his ass, the female Viltrumite, in the real comics, she rapes him because one of the Viltrumite seniors tells her to go breed, whether it be human or whatever. So she went and finds the strongest human, which is half human, half Viltrumite. She literally forces herself on Mark to get pregnant because he told her to go breed, essentially, because they're trying to make more Viltrumites because they're about to, like, the whole goal of them is to take over the universe.
Left. There's only a few left. Isaiah told me, he sent me the comics, and I was like,
yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the few that are left are next level, like Planet Breaker strong.
Did
The few left that are like,
you know about Thrag fighting the beast?
I was telling you about Battle Beast.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. Right up until my son sends me a spoiler with Thrag wearing Battle Beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
For all those that didn't watch the show, there you got spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Spoiler. If you didn't read the comic, there you go.
She lived up to it. You said you on the couch. She just did it.
I was like, who won the fight? And he was like, Mom, you don't see what he's wearing? I was like, oh, okay. So he lost.
But, yeah, it's arguable that he wouldn't have won the fight if Battle Beast didn't make it fair. Battle Beast ripped his organs out to make the fight fair.
Yeah.
This got
so you arguably because he's built for the battle, so he's all about the fight, and Thrag was already wounded and he wanted a fair fight, so he disemboweled himself because Thrag already had his guts on the floor. So and they fought for like 2 days.
Yeah.
It's like it was crazy. It's crazy. I didn't even know about that comic until it came out on Amazon. So I went and read on it. It was the one thing I've watched in front of Jess, and I couldn't like commentate because I know so much about like comics. So like the one thing I'm like, I'm lost. Like, what is this? So like it was pretty dope.
Oh really?
Pretty,
Oh, so you
I
didn't
like
know
Invincible.
you watched it? Then you went and
Oh,
looked.
when I watched Invincible, I knew nothing about it. If you want to see, I'll send it to you. I don't want to recommend that on. It's a pretty risque show.
Yeah, no.
No, actually, go look up Super Crooks. It's like the boys. It's like the boys and Invincible smashed together.
See,
It's a
because I feel
cartoon.
like Invincible is like the boys, but cartoon.
Nah, this one's really like the boys. It's called Super Crooks. Look it up. It's
Okay.
all. I think it's on Netflix. It's crazy.
Send it to me when you have a second.
Don't even watch that. I wouldn't even watch that around teenage. But it's a sick shit. Yeah, I wouldn't even watch it around teenage. It's a pretty it's a show.
Okay. Well, yeah, send it to me. Send me the link, and I will definitely watch it. Can you do
Yeah,
me a
for
favor?
sure.
Can you answer this icebreaker?
Are you gonna ask it?
This
Oh.
icebreaker actually came. This icebreaker came actually from Joe. The question is, what is the least favorite thing about? I'm sorry, the least favorite and the most favorite thing about being your sex. Any takers?
Oldest first. Ira, senior sister, leader and commander.
I only have half an answer. Haven't thought about the favorite part, but it definitely would be the monthly cycle. It's not my favorite.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Think about
if we had a button that we could push and say I need 6 months off, I'd push it. I probably pushed it like 10 times by now. But I know that's not good for your health. But there it is. And then probably favorite thing. I can't I don't know. Probably it's just more to that person.
Oh, come on.
I like that women have the gift to go in, even let's say there's a war. A woman could go in with her charm, let's say, her nature, her way about her, and she could accomplish things, and bring down a whole nation, or let's say the commanding chief or a general with her
With her
persuasive
vagina.
I was not gonna say that. That's not what I was talking about. At all. That's not what I was talking about.
That's what got Solomon. That's what got Samson. That's what got David. That's La Cucaracha.
You know what?
That's the root.
I often argue that women are the most powerful creatures on the planet because it took down the strongest man and the wisest man. So brains and brawn could not.
It's because women breed frivolous activity.
And even better, Adam kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and she interrupted.
Oh my God! I just made that point the other day. That is so funny, bro.
She messed up humanity itself because of her. My least favorite thing about women happens all the time.
Come on, Eve! Are you playing games, Eve?
When I was a teenager, I was like, I just want to punch Eve in her face every once in a while.
Y'all thank you for y'all cycles.
Yeah, thank you for being my friend.
I just want to know, like, what that fruit tastes like, or was it even about the fruit?
I think it was a snake. I think it was an embodied. This is me and my buddy Tommy. We're just talking about this. He has a good take on it. Hey, I'm Tommy. Why aren't you here, fucker? But he made a point about he thinks it was like a. I'm sorry. God forgive me. No, but no. Okay, so I think things were like I think like things in the Bible were like referenced in poetic format sometimes. So like I think it was like I think she was cheating. I think she slept with said entity. In my opinion, because think about it, is that she broke. Think about it, bro. And I don't think when they think serpent, I'm thinking like serpent. Like I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? And then sex is always referred to as fruit. Be fruitful and multiply. She ate the forbidden fruit. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Things in the Bible's important. I think she slept with an entity of said type. Like she broke the sanctions of her marriage. You know what I'm saying? And then God already referenced fruit. God, sex as fruit. So you know what I'm saying? Be fruitful and multiply. And then she ate the forbidden fruit of a,
Bro,
you know, from a tree. So I think said temptation was hanging out in the garden. This is just
bro,
my take. It's a theory.
bro, you are
And
making a
then
whole cult right now.
no, I'm not making a cult. I'm not making a cult. It's in the scripture.
If that's the case, that's
Think
where Cain
about it.
came from, and that's why
What?
Cain killed Abel. As if
There you
that's the case,
go, bro.
that's where
That's a
Cain
point.
came from, because he
That's a
killed his
good
brother.
point.
I always was like,
That's a
why
good
is he so
point.
evil? Like, what?
And think
Who
about
just
it,
killed
God,
your brother?
and then everybody calls it a snake, but God said something about taking the legs from it and make it crawl on its belly. So essentially, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was like something of lizard, arguably like a You know, some of these fairy tales where the dragon can turn into a human. Those kind of situations. Like, think about that. Think
Bro,
about
you're
that.
making a
All the
whole
listen. This is look, listen. The depiction the depiction of said serpent screams very much like dragon. Think about it. Like it was a talking reptile type creature that can guide and influence a human. And every depiction of a dragon is that type. Like they like counsel the king and they rule countries. Like dragons are usually like super talented. Like I think
Did you
I
see
don't
that
know.
last dragon
It's a
movie with
hail
the
mary of a
girl?
theory. It's a hell theory, huh?
What's the one with the girl, the dragon movie on Netflix where the girl
Damsel,
That was
owned the
damsel,
damsel.
dragon? Huh?
damsel, damsel.
Damsel.
Yeah,
Yes, oh
yeah. And that
damsel.
dragon was talking, and it was like,
That's what I'm. That's my theory as far as like the said serpent was of that. I think that's probably where the legend came from originally. Somebody saw it, you know, and it. I don't know. I think like you remember when it said, which is just a reference to what I'm saying. You remember when it said in the Bible something about God coming down on a cloud and the cloud was breathing or something like that. Then like in the picture of the cloud was the vessel he was on was breathing. And then to me that sounds like how somebody that's never seen a machine would describe. You know what I'm saying? Like
really?
I have a theory. If we're coming away from the Bible a little bit, I have a theory that God is simply our influence on ourselves. Like through time. Like if we could go back in time and I can plant a book of rules to make sure we don't shell out and kill each other. You know what I mean? That
So
kind
you
of guides humanity through, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a rule book that I dropped in history.
clear this up with me. You're saying that you think God is us.
Theory,
Back in
theory,
time.
theory, theory.
Travel back in time with a time machine. And we give ourselves rules so we don't kill ourselves in the future.
We don't destroy ourselves. It's like a guide. Maybe in the future, like X-Men Future Past, how they had to go back and resolute from the overall destruction. Essentially, maybe we end up destroying ourselves in general. And there's like one last chance. Like Lucy, you remember in Lucy where she went back in time and the first monkey was Lucy. She kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like we went back and like, and there's more that goes into this for me because if you think about like time periods, okay, so for 3,000 years it was horses and carriages, right? For
Mm.
3,000 years almost, from like 1870 to now, we have rockets. Like think about that. So like to me, something somewhere we were heavily influenced. I mean, heavily influenced. How do you go from carriages for 3,000 years, even from just when Poppy, like 1920 to now, the evolution in 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 economics and the evolution. It just seems like something was heavily influenced. Like computers were the size of houses just 6 years ago, and now it's the size. It's like this big. You know what I'm saying? Now computers this big. Like that sounds like something is of a major influence. Like it just seems like at some point we were touched because how
Yeah,
like think about it. The
did watch.
Samson
I
and
did watch.
Delilah days were no different than like when we conquered America. You know what I'm saying? When Christopher Columbus came here, it was the same technology. They had muskets, but as far as like horses and carriages, that's as far as it got. I feel like at some point Like we were like heavily influenced. I feel like maybe like I feel like when you're describing something you've never seen before, it's gonna sound like I don't know. It's just a theory.
Is it
But my
a
bad. I didn't mean it.
conspiracy
I
theory?
didn't mean it. No, not necessarily a conspiracy theory. Just feel like I feel like science and a lot of stories are just the way you have to describe a God's power. You know what I mean? It's like you're pulling it
No, in
together in
the book
fragments.
in the book of Revelations, they describe certain things, but like when they were describing, I think helicopters, they described it as like scorpions flying in the sky, like stinging people. But to
Yeah,
me,
like in
imagined
poetic format.
that was like a scorpion, a helicopter. But like they had
Yeah,
no word to describe it because it didn't exist. You
that's what
know?
I'm saying. So if I am a man, for example, say I go back in time and I pull up on like maybe the Egyptian period where like the what do you call it? The wizards were battling Moses and stuff. That
Mhm.
era, and I pull up with a lighter. Like they're all gonna think I'm a god. Even if I do that one thing, that one act, and I disappear, I give them one command and I disappear forever because they never seen anything like that. Have fire come out of my hand. You know what I'm saying? For an inconsistent amount of time. Like I can go back, disappear. Whatever I said, they're gonna harp on that, and they might even build a religion on it because it was such a. Just think about it. If we're sitting in our backyard, we're hanging out, we're talking, conversation like this, and a portal opens up, right? And he gives us some random person or creature gives us a quote. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just disappears because nothing else has existed and nobody's ever even referenced anything like that. We're gonna follow what that thing said. We're almost like religion. You know what I mean? I'm
Okay,
not gonna say you're gonna worship said creature, but you're gonna be like, holy shit, and say you do what said thing said, and it's like it's working for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like for example, you know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. I'm just saying like it'd be nothing to go back. If I go back to like a war driven time with a gun, like back like with bows and arrows, I'm telling you, in 10 minutes, I'm God.
okay,
You know
so
what I'm saying? Like so
some pushback for you. I got some pushback for you. Where is this time machine right now? Where is it?
I don't think we got it yet. I don't think we have
Is it
that's just saying
that
I
happens
don't think
in
we
the
have it yet.
future that goes back past us to the past?
Listen, I think our imaginations are the depictions to the future. Because if you think everything science fiction, maybe from daddy's time, is reality now, think about it. It was science fiction then. It is reality
No,
now. So
first of
anything,
all,
just give me a second. No,
first of
give me a second.
I have not seen the shoes on Back to the Future yet that zip
Yeah,
up.
like I said, yet.
So
Yeah, yet. Yeah.
I've been waiting for them.
Also,
Where are the
you
shoes
go
at?
back to Star Trek. You got Star Trek. They were talking to screens, handheld screens. They were talking to their watches. That was something unfathomable back then. Watches literally only ticked. It's like we all. That's why people like Kanye reference themselves as gods because we only are limited by our imagination. With time and technology, we have managed to create everything. Even think about Skynet and Terminator. Like the way you can see the way that AI is moving now, how dangerous it can be. And it's honestly only a matter of time. Elon Musk is highly fearful of the AI stuff, but he's into the robotic side. You got people that are obsessed with the AI stuff. The moment, soon those worlds are going to collide. And I think like we are just, our imagination is simply the depiction of the future because you can't bring me one science fiction thing and from the past that we haven't done or we are on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like that's my argument.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I watch a lot of like apocalyptic themed movies, and I'm trying to figure out why people push AI so much. Like, can't they see the AI always ends up taking over and enslaving humans or trying to off them in some way? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why are you trying to
Yes.
push AI? Push AI.
Do you ever notice that creations always hate their creator? Even us. Everybody. Sorry, Ars. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like if you think about it in general, creations always tend to hate their creators, like a bad kid. You know what I'm saying? Or us, like we get so lost in life, we're like, God, I hate you. We get to that point. We always hate our creator. So if you make something like AI, it is of human essence, but perfect in the sense of thinking speed. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be it's gonna automatically hate us because we created it. That's just the nature. It is above as it is below. there's no way you create something that smart and it doesn't grow to hate its creator. And I don't think I think that's been the issue with anything. Like everything. Like I mean, even your teenager will grow to hate you. I just think that's the nature of it. Like I think it's inevitable. It's gonna come, but it's already depicted through imagination. You can argue that it was a God given vision, and it comes through in the format of a like a story. Because right now, the Matrix was just cool to us, but as adults, you start to realize, like, God damn, we really are just batteries. If you wake up and you partake in the
Listen,
rat race, you're just a battery. You're powering their system, and from the day you wake up to the day you go to sleep permanently, you are just simply powering the system. And people that talk like me are considered the crazies, but we're trying to pull away from the system. Go grow your own food. Go do your own thing. Don't feed that system that they created that they only been off of it. Off of. Just think about being yanked into like a cornfield, and they just got you yanking and picking cotton, and they do it until the day you die. And when the day you die, they don't got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You're
I
just
was
a battery. And they depicted it a certain way, but certain
I
people
was
don't like get it.
I was just talking to one of the doctors that I work with about this, like yesterday, and I was like, she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm not happy." And she was like, "What do you think will make you happy?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't want to participate in living in the box anymore." She was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "We literally go from our box house to our box job, back to our box house, back to our box job, and it's the same."
Forgot the box car.
In a box
A box
car, and
that
they tell
drives
you,
the other box, and I'm just
yes,
like,
they tell you what
this
to
is
drive. They tell you
frustrating.
how to spend your money. They tell you to go to school, even though it damages your brain, and that's been proven. It's such a trap that it's like. But you got to remember, some animals like to be trapped. Like that Stockholm syndrome is true. Like people, like the Mr. Smiths, like the guy in the first Matrix that wanted to get put back in it. It's a safer
Oh,
world for him to keep the blinders on. He bit the steak and he was like, I know this is just a bunch of microbes, blah blah blah. He's just like, but he bit it and he's like, ignorance is bliss. And like, so it's easier to believe that the world isn't out here to get you when that's just not the case. You go into your workplace and you see the corruption. You can see it. That's just a $1 million, $2 million company. You don't think trillions and the biggest weapons in the world and the biggest real estate in the world isn't attached to the corruption? And that just shows me that people don't use their brains. There's corruption in your own household. Mommy, what were you and daddy doing? Oh, we were wrestling. That's corruption. It's not the truth. You know what I'm saying?
I,
So like, regardless of why you're hiding the truth, it is a form of corruption. So you have to understand that the truth is not important. Them delivering you the truth is not important to them. Oh snap!
but I also feel like,
I lost you guys
I'll be
for a
like,
second.
"Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
I
was
don't see
gone. I
your
don't know
screen.
what happened.
Are you back now? Are you back?
Uh, can you hear me?
I can see you.
I can't see him. I can see him now.
I can see
Okay.
you." But I was having this conversation with people at work, and like I'll talk about stuff like that because Candace O just posted something. Iris sent it to me about if the grid goes down, which she's like,
To
if
the
the
grid.
will go down, like, do you have a plan? What are you gonna do? And I was talking to people about it at work, and they were just like, I just don't want to think about that. I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
I don't even
Yeah.
want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it.
No,
I'll
me and my neighbor.
and I'm like, you won't be prepared if you
It's
cross
fear.
that
Yeah,
bridge.
it's fear. It's fear. It's like my neighbor calls them the Mr. Smiths. She's like I was like, you ever say something and then you seems like you kind of it's almost like you short circuit a person, and then you can kind of see them shorting out, and then you feel like you're almost in danger, like they're about to tell on you, like high school. Like it's a very weird feeling. It's like you'll say something and they just kind of like you can see their brain trying to think, and they just short circuit. They've never been pushed to that point, and they're just quiet, and they're almost like they're either ready to call you crazy or agree with you so
Or
much
like,
that it sends them into like a frenzy. And I think people are scared of that frenzy because once they acknowledge that, the wave of everything else that could be untrue starts to horror, and you're like, oh my god, and it's literally like one of those like I think it's just like to keep the monsters out. They're just like none of it's true. You go to work, you sleep, you live, you die. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our basic most. You know what I'm saying? Like forget strong family economics and homestead. And, you know what I'm saying? Strong generational, lessons. Like just wake up and play their game. You know what I mean? Like that's
And
essentially
that is not
what
living.
it's not living.
That is what bothers me so much about it. It's like, who said that every day you go to work and you get some dollars, and these dollars that you get, you pay bills. And once you pay bills, you have barely enough to do anything that you actually enjoy doing. And you got to go back and do it all over again. Who said that that was living? Who convinced people that that was living?
The people that didn't want to take care of themselves. Right. It's the people that didn't want to take care of themselves. That's who you convince. That's how you convince those people. They like you get to subsidize their existence because there was a version of people that wouldn't have went for it because they were able to take care of themselves in totality. But like the Amish, like they don't really need America for its system. If anything, they just need it for its land. Once they got the land, they're good. They're like fuck off, and they very much do. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not really a part of our economic circle. You know, everything they do is derived from right there. The wood that they're using is literally chopped down off their acreage. You know what I'm saying? Like they are pure. You know what I'm saying? At its finest. So like they don't need the system. You know, that's also why they're such a powerful people.
You know what's
at the funny? Same time.
A coworker sent me a link to a show. I think it comes on Hulu, maybe, where this family, they pretty much just went up to Alaska and bought a piece of land, cut down trees, and just built a cabin out of trees. And they went and recorded them. And they were like, you guys don't know like anything about real life? They were like, oh, yeah, we heard about this iPhone business. Or like they had no idea about the real world because they were just focused on building a home, cooking food from the land. They had no idea about what real life was even like, and they had like 8 kids or something. It's on a show on Hulu. I forgot the name of it.
I think as humans, we really have lost sight of what it even means to be alive. Like we spend a lot of time focusing on what we're literally being told to focus. Like somebody drew up what you consider paradise. Like they told you being on a high rise in Paris is luxury. Like they sold that to you. They told you a rock that came out of the fucking. What happened? Where'd I go?
I'm so sorry.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like they gave you the value of a diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think about life like that. They are telling you what's valuable every day. You know what I'm saying? And like the more, and it's like their only goal is like they're not doing the same things that they're telling you to do. You got to understand that like, they're living a completely different lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like they're almost off grid themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like the way the elites live, like they're not as connected to the system as they just need to be in control of the system. And to control the system, you need people to be a part of said system. It's like the villages that are around the kingdom. The king didn't like that. So he'd go out there and make sure he had his thumb on their forehead at least. Or you either come up in here. You come in here and pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? You come in here and become a martyr. And he'll go out there and pillage the village. Oh, you don't want to become a part of it? If you don't grow enough people, guess what? We're taking over. And essentially that was always the king's fear. Growing big, like big organizations from up under them. That's why they're so worried about drug dealers. That's why the cartel scares them. That's why Hispanics scare them. They don't want, like even China, where they do the limit on the kids, that has nothing to do with economics. They don't, if you look at history of China, a lot of those big dynasties were derived from giant families. And they don't want giant families with a goal being created from under them, like a Malcolm X kind of, or like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, like big regions of alliances. They don't want that. That's their biggest. They don't want that because those are the people that save. Those are the people that they're breaking away and creating a whole infrastructure away from your control system. Your thumb isn't on it. They can go make their own Wall Street. They can go make their own docking system. They're, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when they don't have to control. It's all about keeping everybody under your thumb. That's why they need you to consume, consume, consume. And that's why this last decade, the woman coming to power is one of their biggest focuses because women are the bigger spenders. Women are, you know what I'm saying? Like a woman with a man in her life automatically spends less. That's just law. You've never seen a woman with a man in her life going nuts. The moment he leaves her life, she's a bigger spender in most cases. So you separate the woman from the man and then give her the responsibility of the kids and then pay. You literally control and revolve all currency in America. You always know where it's at. You always know what it's doing for the most part. So it's like
Also,
what?
women when a husband and wife are married, men usually say, "Hold on, let me go check with my wife because she's a spender. He'd much rather hold it and keep it and not." He'd be like, let me go check with my wife first. Always when I sell.
It's all about control, and then you separate the people. You make everybody hate each other, and then it makes it even easier to just move through the ranks. And the moment, as long as you're blaming the gays, the blacks are blaming the Hispanics are blaming the Mexicans, and you know what I'm saying. Like it's always somebody else to blame. The whites are blaming everybody. It's like you never really focus on what the issue is. It's like the issue is that we're fueling this system that's raping the taxpayer class, and we don't even realize we almost believe in it and defend it before we revolt against it. That's like, and it's like we're nullified because our grandparents went to war over fucking 2% tax. No
It's
joke.
like it's like
No
you give them
joke.
something else to focus on. You give them something else to focus on. They don't even pay attention to the real issue.
Over tea, tax on tea. They were like,
Boston Tea Market.
guess what? We're going to war. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that serious. That was the whole point of coming to America to get under that big UK thumb of tax paying and
Which is
just over
crazy
just
because America
we put it
usually broke from Europe, from
just to
England
become Europe.
because of the taxes, just to become them. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then the crazy part is, and we took loans from over there too. So we just come here, just like, hey, we made over here. We might have to get some building materials. Like, you know, it's one of it's like the stupidest thing. Like, we're still in debt now. That's stupid. But
Iris, did you have
overall,
anything to add? You've been really quiet.
sorry, Iris.
I was letting y'all flow. Y'all were flowing so fast. I was like, oh, where should I jump? Like double dutch. I'm like, no, I'm gonna let the rope go around. No, I'm gonna let the rope go around. So,
My bad.
Sorry.
no, it's
It's a
not
hot
bad. It's
topic.
just
It's a hot topic for me.
I
it's
know, and
interesting.
the thing is, it wasn't even the topic, but it
No,
got.
it wasn't bad at all. I was just letting y'all do your thing and flow. But I think the biggest concern that I have for this generation is the fact that not even that they don't care or they don't desire to be aware of what's really taking place. It's just that they are so desensitized to everything else and they're so numbed, self numbed, whether it's by social media, whether it's by drugs, whether it's by, the video games. You talk about them being distracted and their focus, they are being pumped full of so many distractions that they won't see the forest from the trees, even if the tree hit them in the face, and they're so dependent and interdependent on the system that they wouldn't even know how to use a map to get to a safe place if something did happen, or if the grid went down. A lot of them don't even know how to boil anything but ramen. So that leaves you extremely dependent on a system that, like you said, thrives on you being completely attached to it. But they desire to stay attached to it. It's not even like before, like Joe was saying, for many years, like we, our grandfathers, great grandfathers would utilize the system, to a certain degree to get what they needed to do, or get where they wanted to be, start a business, this, that, and the other, and then they would try to become independent. But I
Yeah,
think
they break away.
yes, I think our generation literally lives to stay dependent on it. And it's not even obviously their own fault, but this is how they have been legitimately brainwashed. The Industrial Revolution was the biggest farce in the world, except for the fact that, the farmers were struggling. So I get that. Like they weren't making ends meet. So they were thinking quick buck, and then to get over there, and there's literally like, you're indentured servants. You're working extreme amount of hours for no wages, for nothing, and you're in tenements, and there's sickness running through the city. So you literally traded out. At least you had land, you had space, you had something that you could produce, you could pass down. Now you're living, you have no equity, you have nothing to give to
Nothing.
your kids,
Nothing.
nothing. And
Nothing. Hello? Hello?